So, are Allah and God the same? Well, that's an interesting question, and I'm actually kind of surprised that this is an issue for some Christians. The Catholic Church has definitively declared that, yes, Muslims and Christians worship the same God. I guess it's an issue because Muslims deny that Jesus is the Son of God, whereas Christians claim that Jesus is the second person of the Holy Trinity, and Muslims deny this. So if Christians worship a trinity of persons in God and Muslims deny that God is a trinity of persons, then they seem to be talking about two different things. But I think the best way to approach this is to distinguish between referent and description. Names can have the same referent, but that referent have different descriptions. And so some classic examples in philosophy, you can talk about Socrates as being the teacher of Plato, or the husband of Xanthippe. Teacher of Plato and husband of Xanthippe are two different descriptions, but they both refer to the same person who goes by the name Socrates. Or the evening star, called Phosphorus, I think, and Hesperus, the morning star, to the ancient Greeks were two different stars, but it was later discovered they are in fact the planet Venus. So they have two different descriptions, appearing before sunrise or soon after sunset, but it's the one and the same referent. And so, from philosophy perspective, the name Holy Trinity, or the Father of Jesus, or the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Allah can all have the same referent, that is, refer to the same creator of the universe, but they have different descriptions. And obviously, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that is Yahweh, or the God of the Jews, is not a trinity of persons, but Jesus explicitly says that his Father is the God of Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham. Jesus claims that a person can worship the true God, but under a different description. So when Jesus is talking to the Samaritan woman at the well, he says, "You people do not understand what you worship," whereas Jews understand what they worship. But they're both worshiping the one true God. And St. Paul, when he's preaching to the Greeks in Athens at the Areopagus, he points out that they have a temple to an unknown God. And then he informs them that this unknown God is in fact Jesus, who was raised from the dead. And at that point, they pretty much dismiss him. But my point is that Paul even acknowledges that Greeks were worshiping God before they knew who God was, or that God became incarnate in Jesus. So it's possible to refer to the same one God, but worship him or describe him differently and under a different description. I think this is an issue for Christians, because if you say that, say, Muslims worship the same God that we do, that somehow you're equating Islam with Christianity or the Catholic faith. And that's not the same thing. They're two different questions. Who Muslims worship is one thing, and they think they're worshiping the one true God. Are they worshiping him appropriately, or as he's revealed himself, or do they understand all truth about him? Well, obviously no. From my perspective, being Catholic, they miss out on a lot. But that doesn't mean they're referring to a different thing. And so it's simply to say that the one true God is being referred to does not mean that the different religions are equal, or there's no difference between different religions. Perhaps in another cup of Joe, I can talk about whether non-Catholics or non-Christians can be saved, especially given that Jesus has said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." So how do we reconcile other religions with the truth of Christianity? And that's a good question, but I think I'll leave it for another cup of Joe. But if you have any questions that you would like to ask, I'd be happy to entertain them. Just leave them in the comments, and like and subscribe and share. And hopefully we can grow in our understanding of the truth of God and the Catholic Church. Thanks.